The conference room at Morrison Industries felt suffocating that morning. 23 shareholders sat around the long mahogany table, listening to my father present his expansion proposal. I sat quietly in the back corner, exactly where I'd been sitting for the past 8 years. Invisible. At least, that's how my family saw me. We're looking for committed partners, Dad said, his deep voice filling the room. People who understand what it takes to build something real. This isn't a hobby. This isn't a side project for trust fund kids playing entrepreneur. His eyes swept across the shareholders, deliberately skipping over me. I was 29 years old, and to my family, I was still the warehouse worker who had somehow talked his way into these meetings. My sister Victoria sat beside him. At 32, she was Dad's golden child. Harvard MBA, 3 years at McKinsey, now VP of Strategic Development at Morrison Industries. Everything I wasn't, or at least everything they thought I wasn't. The real question, Victoria said smoothly, is whether we have enough capital to support this expansion without diluting our core investor base. We need partners who can commit to the $200 million threshold. I kept my expression neutral. I'd heard this presentation before. I'd been listening to versions of it since I was 21, quietly building my position while my family mocked my warehouse job. My brother Marcus leaned forward. We should target institutional investors, serious money. Not people who think reading a few business books makes them qualified. He glanced directly at me. Some people need to understand their limitations. I almost smiled. After the meeting, everyone moved toward the reception area. Crystal chandeliers reflected across the polished floor while shareholders discussed Morrison Industries' future. Dad found me near the bar. Jason, we need to talk about your attendance at these meetings. I'm a shareholder, I replied. I have every right to be here. You own what? A few hundred shares, maybe 1,000. He shook his head. This is serious business. We're discussing $200 million in expansion capital. That's more than you'll make in your entire lifetime at that warehouse. Victoria appeared beside him, holding a champagne flute. Dad's trying to be gentle, Jason, but honestly, you're embarrassing yourself. These meetings are for people who actually contribute to the company's success. I contribute, Marcus laughed. By moving boxes. Come on, little brother. Dad gave you those shares out of pity when you turned 18. Don't pretend you're part of this world. I looked at all 3 of them. My father, my sister, my brother, the people who had spent decades reminding me where they believed I belonged. The warehouse. The loading docks. The background. The family charity case. I see, I said. So you're looking for serious investors. People who can commit to $100 million. Exactly, Dad said, relieved that I finally seemed to understand. This is big league stuff. You should focus on your strengths. The warehouse needs reliable people. There's no shame in that. And if I wanted to be considered for a partnership position, I asked. Victoria laughed. Jason, a partnership position requires at least $50 million, business experience, and a proven track record. You have none of those things. Budget tables suit you better, Marcus added. Let the adults handle the real decisions. I nodded slowly. I understand. Then I pulled out my phone. You need serious money. Proven investors, people with actual skin in the game. Finally, Dad muttered. I opened my banking application. It was connected to my primary